Before you can conquer one of Australia's most formidable desert crossings, you need to learn to read the land. 8 novice four-wheel drivers and one ambitious goal: to cross the Simpson Desert for the very first time. But before we could even think about pointing our vehicles towards those iconic red dunes, we needed to prepare ourselves. So in the week leading up to the crossing, we took to the tracks, learning the way of the land, understanding our vehicle's limits, and getting ourselves ready for what lay ahead.
We finally made it all the way out to Willow Springs Station, which is the home of the famous Sky Trek. It's a couple of Ks of some undulating tracks that allow you to go up into the actual Flinders Ranges. So they get about 4,500 sheep shorn every single year. And we'll keep an eye out for a couple of points of interest. And then there's actually some old huts on the actual property. And then there's a old shearing shed as well. So keep trucking along and see how we go.
This would be our testing ground, a place to test our skills and make mistakes where the consequences weren't life-threatening.
You know, we're only 33 Ks into the 80 odd kilometers of this track, and we're having a blast. There's just little scenery spots, there's lookouts, there's historic points of interest, and then tiny little kind of four-wheel drive parts. There's a lot of rockiness, of course, that's out here, and I can only imagine once there's a bit of water, it would create a whole different world of skill level that would be involved to actually kind of conquer it. But, you know, we're all still just rookie kind of four-wheel drivers, so for us to be able to start tackling something as small and as fairly simple as the Sky Trek, it's a nice little introduction before we actually go and tackle the Simpson Desert, which again is its whole different ballpark of skill sets that are needed out there. So it's going to be fun to be able to compare the two with each other and be able to kind of come back to each other at the end of this track and see how we all found it.
Tell by how much my head's wobbling how rough the track is, and we're doing a total of about 8 kilometres an hour. You really can't go any faster. Well, that was the uphill section. We're now on the downhill. Another nice feature with these newer vehicles is they've got downhill descent, which means that it can hold a gear and not let the car run away. You don't feel like you've got to have your foot on the brake all the time. It makes it so much easier to come down a steep mountain. Always remember to keep your thumbs inside the wheel, or out of the inside of the wheel, I should say, so that if you do hit a rock and the wheel spins, you don't break a thumb. See that? Wanted to pull the wheel sideways.
Only a couple of Ks out from camp and we hit our first snag.
Do you want to run us through what's happened, Craig?
The brake line has snapped. This brake line has snapped. So I don't know if it's been rubbing on the spare tyre because it's pretty big, and it snapped that brake line. This one right here. So we folded over, put a clamp on that. So hopefully that will do it.
Alright, let's give that another pump for me. Yeah, it's holding. Go a little bit harder. Yeah, it's good. That's holding.
Leaving the Flinders Ranges behind, most of the group pushed west. Craig peeled off to repair his brake line, so we detoured through a ghost town swallowed by the outback.
We're now in the town of Farina, which was built around the 1870s. It was mainly built for being along the Great Northern Railway, but it didn't really pick off because of the harsh environment that it was in. They had about 600 residents or so in this town, and with that, so they had like your pubs, your post office, which is what I'm in right now. So with that, over time, it's just become quite decrepit. It's fallen apart a lot over the years, but you know, a lot of things like this like the post office, has actually been able to withstand a lot of the elements, as has done the old hospital that then turned into a housing boarding location, and then I believe it became one of the hotels, or whichever order it was for that. It's quite interesting. There's still a lot of history around here.
Today, volunteers from the Farina Restoration Group work 8 weeks each winter to resurrect the town's crumbling ruins. From Mari, we pushed north along the legendary Oodnadatta Track, 620 kilometres of unsealed road that follows the route of the old Garn Railway through some of Australia's most remote country. It wasn't long until we stumbled upon the southern end of Lake Eyre, a lake so large it's visible from space, yet rarely holds water. What better opportunity to look at it up and close than now? So we pulled over at the next turn-off. No other reason for stopping though.
Well, it pays to, keep an eye on a lot of things as you're driving out in the bush here. It seems that I've gotten a flat tyre at some point. I was suspicious that I had some sounds coming from that rear left at some point, and it's true. I've got a flat. I guess we'll just swap this out and keep moving.
Tyres patched and we're back on the road, but now the engine's feeling a bit sluggish. I need parts, and Oodnadatta is my only shot. And as it comes into view, well, you could say I'm tickled pink.
Doing a bit of research, I think there's like this little gauze kind of filter that's right down here on the actual pump. So I'm going to get down there and actually open that up and see if that's going to be something that needs to be cleaned out. So got that off, but now just using like this little screwdriver and a rag, just a matter of getting this down and seeing if I can hopefully free up anything that's actually down there.
I didn't know it at the time, but the gauze filter could be pulled out and cleaned in minutes. Just another lesson the desert would teach us. Sometimes we overcomplicate the fix.
That's probably all we can really do at the moment. Just take it for a drive and see how we go.
Travelling through the painted desert, it wasn't long until we found ourselves in the Northern Territory, heading towards Katachuta National Park.
All right, so it's 5:30. We finally made it through the National Park's gate. We're one of the first groups in, apart from the actual tour groups that are going ahead of us, for a pretty spectacular sunrise morning. It's gonna be a bit of a surprise for all of us, which will be fun.
Uluru stands 348 metres high, rising 863 metres above sea level, with most of its ancient bulk lying underground. It represents tens of thousands of years of continuous connection to country. The caves at its base contain paintings, carvings, and sacred sites that connect today's Aboriginal people directly to their ancestors. Whether or not you share those beliefs, the depth of that connection and the continuity of that culture demands respect.
What do you think of this location, Ross?
Look, it's awesome. It just shows a totally different side of the countryside. It's totally different to Ayers Rock.
With our tight schedule to get to the start of the desert, we saddled up and headed towards Kings Canyon.
Now we're in Kings Canyon, which is in Waikato National Park. There's a couple of walks that are through this actual national park. So you can do like the rim walk up around the top. You can then go through the canyon itself. There's plenty of options out there. Kings Canyon is actually a sandstone gorge with towering walls up to about 100 meters. It's kind of formed about 400 million years ago with through the erosion and tectonic shifts. Of course, as you start coming into a national park, you get a lot of the trees and animals that are coming through here. And so a lot of the ones you'll see in this particular part of the national park is going to be like your ghost gums, of course. And then animals, you get your rock wallabies, you get your spinifex pigeons, and then falcons and everything like that as well. So like there's a variety of different things you actually come across when you walk through it.
The combination of relentless kilometres, corrugated roads and temperatures well in the high 30s meant our rigs were working overtime. It was only a matter of time before something needed attention.
Well, I did notice the oil the other day when we were looking for a noise, but kind of forgot about it until now. And I was like, oh, I should probably check that again. And here I am. Oh no, there it is. Coming from the drain plug. There's a little bit loose.
between the heat and the pace we'd been keeping, my patrol started throwing oil temperature warnings. Clayton's solution? Flush the cooling system.
It's going to be clean.
Oh, yeah.
See it change colour.
Yeah. The rust-stained water that came out confirmed we had made the right call. Alright, well that's pressurising the system, just taking out any bubbles or anything like that, like air in the actual system. Just have to allow the actual car to get up to temp so we can actually allow the thermostat to then open and allow the air to go through and then come out through the top of the radiator. So while that's happening, let me tell you about today's sponsor. No, I don't have any sponsors, I'm broke. After a day without their alternator charging the camper's battery, Clayton and Hillary were taking matters into their own hands. Mounting the solar panel to the roof would give them consistent charging for the road ahead. After leaving Caldera this morning, we're heading out to Mount Dare, but on the way through, Ross thought it'd be a great idea to go and check out a place called Old Andado Station. I've seen a couple of photos of it and I'm pretty excited to go and see it. We're about 2 hours from it. It's about 100 or so kilometres from where we are right now. Some of the crew have gone off directly into Mount Dare. They'll head in there about, from where we are, about 80 k's or so into Mount Dare, and then we've got about 100 or so k's down into Old Andado Station. Here we are. Now this was a pastoral station that was bought in 1909 by a bloke by the name of Robert McDill, and then by 1920 this station was then actually built. By 1955 a new family took over, Mac and Molly Clark, who arrived with their 3 sons. After the passing of her husband and eldest son, the government forced Molly to destroy her entire cattle herd, wiping out her livelihood. She sold the property but kept the old homestead, turning it into a museum where she lived until 2012. I've been told that a lot of this site was just kind of left, like the old homeowners just kind of upped and left. It literally just looks like someone left like yesterday, you know, despite a bit of dust here and there, it just doesn't look like anyone left. I couldn't help but notice there's actually a couple of cars over here as well. So it looks like there's an FJ and then a 60 series. That's sick. All right, first bit of bull dust. Better have the window up. I'm in 4 high. Let's see how we go. Oh, it's not too bad. We're getting through it. A lot bumpier than I thought. Just that unknown of, you know, what's under the actual dust right there. Oh, she's dusty at the back there though. Shortly after, Sandy came through with his Grenadier and Craig came through with his D-Max, but I may have placed Karen in the wrong spot and she may have gotten dusted in the process. Sorry, Karen. We're just saddling up to start heading out to Dalhousie Springs, which is going to be somewhat right before the Simo. Wow, we've got a real cowboy over here. Wow, look at you. Oh.
We're at Dalhousie Springs.
Have you felt the water?
I have felt the water.
Is it hot?
It is. It's like bath water, but...
Oh, again! Stupid flies.
It's pretty warm. It's kind of like when you have a bath at home kind of temperature. And where you, like, if you stay in too long, you probably start sweating a little bit. Allegedly, according to other people, once you get out, it's nicer because the wind cools it down. Allegedly.
Okay. Yeah, so this is about 30 odd degrees or something like that in the water. I don't think anyone's really game enough to put their head under the water because it's that hot. More than 30 maybe. I'm going to say between 30 and 40.
We have this place in the middle of kind of nowhere. I wouldn't say desert per se, but yeah, in the middle, about to start the desert. So yeah, nice way to start it.
Behind us, the Flinders Ranges, where SkyTrack taught us vehicle control. Ahead, the French Line, one of the most demanding routes through the Simpson Desert. 1,099 sand dunes between us and Birdsville. 400 kilometres of the most unforgiving terrain Australia can offer. No towns, no fuel, no mobile reception. No second chances if something went catastrophically wrong.
Stop it.
And as we aired down our tyres and pointed our vehicles east towards the first red dune rising from the flat plain like a warning, the weight of what we were attempting finally sank in.
Well, here we are. This is the first real test of the four-wheel driving and climbing a dune.
We have to give it a bit more speed because I was just spinning there at the top.
Give it some jandals. We're now going up the sand dune in full low. Definitely a bit of a bumpy ride. And we made it!
It wasn't that easy for everyone, with the FJ being the first to bog down.
Swapping drivers. Tried your best.
I wasn't good enough.
Clayton and Hillary, they're going to have another crack at it. They've just swapped drivers. It doesn't look that bad of a hill, but once you've got a trailer on the back, it does, weigh you down a lot. They were saying it's easily probably about the 4.2, 4.5 tonne or so that they're going to be travelling up this hill. So we'll see how they go. They're going to have another crack at it.
Okay, swap drivers. Second attempt up the dune. So far, so good.
Oh, so close. Steele wasn't too far over the other side, so we had him reverse the Ranger up to attach the snatch strap. I reckon once they have a couple of dunes under their belt, they'll get it down pat.
You ready, champion? You know what you're doing?
I have no idea what I'm doing, but I'm going to ask for a little bit of advice when this camera turns off and then see how I go. Worst comes to worst, Kale can drive it.
When you start going, I'll accelerate.
Copy on you.
Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. We're up, we're up, we're up, we're up, we're up. We're going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. Keep going, we're up and over.
There you go, so we had some dramas getting up our first main dune. You'd go 4 low. 4 low just wasn't working, so just put it back into 4 high. Ran through second gear, we dropped the tyre pressures from 18 to 15 back on. And we'll see how we go on the next main dune, which is coming up right now. A little bit of momentum through second gear. Bounced it.
And we're up.
Definitely momentum.
Just turned off the French line onto the Colson track, and the first thing we see is a camel. So we weren't almost really expecting to see a camel on this track. We heard from some previous cars that were crossing going the west direction that they hadn't seen any camels, but we were quite skeptical because they said they had been on the Colson track, but they didn't see any, and we've literally just turned onto it and we've come across one. I'm now just chasing it down the trail, keeping a good distance just so he's not too stressed out. But Taylor actually said on the radio that he's very likely just running along this track because it's a lot easier and nicer for his padded feet running along the track as opposed to the actual bushland out there. So probably leading us to a good campsite or a water hole. We'll find out, but hopefully he gets off soon. He's looking a bit tired. Set up camp down here, just the bottom of the WAA line track that we're heading onto tomorrow. I think we've done pretty well. We're able to kind of really get in there with recoveries and everything like that. We were able to listen really well with communication, with talking with each other as to what we needed, and also talking about what the track was like ahead. And so if we can keep that up over the next couple of days, then I think we should be sweet and be able to actually conquer the Simpson Desert.
As we have done for the past week and a bit, we rose from our canvas beds and went through the rituals of packing up camp. Next stop, Poeppel Lake.
Done pretty all right for the first day, and I think we're going to do a little bit better today. We did well with our communication. We did pretty well with our snatch strapping with getting the cruiser over a lot of the dunes, so we can only hope that we're going to be a little bit faster today again. I think it's time to actually check in with that ringleader, Ross, and just see how he's going with everything. Ross, you have a copy?
Copy.
How are you feeling about the trip so far coming into the Simpson Desert? Is it what you expected?
Look, I really didn't know what to expect. Obviously, you read a lot about it, and I think it really has exceeded all the expectations. The scenery, the landscape, just how much the sand changes, and the challenges as they're presented in front of you.
Yeah, love to hear it. And speaking of challenges, Clayton and Hillary, how are you going back there with the FJ and that camper trailer?
Yeah, we're good. We have sort of come and done stuff with the trailer here and there, as where everyone's aware of. But the FJ is doing a great job. I think there's a few more challenges ahead for us before we get to Birdsville. But I am looking forward to it. I'm not too sure whether I'd sort of hitch another trailer through here. But anyway, it's part of the adventure, it's part of the unknown, and it's part of the learning curve.
Yeah, no, that's always the case, isn't it? And at the very back, we've got Sandy. You've got the Ineos Grenadier. How's that travelling out in the desert?
Fully my expectation, I suppose, and we're having any issues. Going pretty smoothly. Yeah, pretty happy with it so far.
And this is actually your second attempt trying to cross the desert, is that correct?
10-15 years ago, I gave it an attempt, but with the weather blocking all the roads, it prevented us from travelling into it. From the west to the east, but we're able to get in slightly from the east just to sort of camp a couple of nights, but yeah, I haven't crossed the desert yet. This will be my first time and we're doing well so far.
Yeah, amazing. Well, hopefully we can all keep our spirits high. We're on day 2 of a 3-day trek, so we'll just keep trucking along and hopefully we'll keep tackling each challenge as it comes.
We've just bumped into some other travellers who've just come through from Poeppel Corner, and we did hear a message last night that there was a car bogged there. Now that the lake is still fairly muddy and you can't cross directly across, so we do have to do the bypass. So it's always good to stop and talk to other travellers, find out what the road conditions are like, what you've seen. They were asking about camels, and we've seen one, thankfully. So yeah, it was really good to get some updates from them. We now know exactly where we've got to turn off and we won't risk getting bogged. All good.
The Poeppel Lake Detour. A bit of water out in the middle. It is very sloshy out there. We have had one guy, not from our group, and he's just taken off. He didn't want anybody to wait for him. A fair bit of water, sort of further south in the lake that we could see with the drone. But again, it just makes for another drive, nice drive.
It was on that detour that we found them, half buried in the mud at the edge of the salt pan, exactly where we had been warned. What we didn't expect was how serious the situation had become. The chassis was caked in mud, a broken snatch strap telling the story of failed recoveries. Even vehicles that had stopped to help were getting swallowed by the same bog. With 8 rigs at our disposal though, we weren't about to drive past.
So what we're doing at the moment, we've got 2 winches going at the same time. We've got mine and Ross's. We're going to be doing a double line winch pull. So we've got 1 rope going down to your pulley. We've got those on the factory points. That's all he's got, the factory tie down points. And then we've got the winch pulley that then goes all the way back to our winch recovery points on our own vehicle. So what's going to be important is that we need to then be communicating on our radios. We'll see how we go once we get going. All right, Luke, you all set?
Yeah, mate.
All right, well, Ross and I, we can start pulling in, and we're going now. Start getting a bit of drive, Luke. That's it. Keep going.
That's moving, that's moving. Keep going, that's moving. Oh, stop there, stop there. He bogged a bit.
Just release a little bit. That's good, we're getting somewhere.
Want to get another max track under that front?
We're using every recovery technique from the book, with the double line winch pulls, shovels, recovery tracks, taking more air out of the tyres, anything to get this vehicle unstuck and back on solid ground.
Alrighty, you all ready, Luke? Alright, and we're going in. Drive. Not too fast, just nice and constant. Just keep going, keep going, keep going. Stop that.
Stop. That left side sinking again.
Inch by inch, Luke is escaping the suction of the mud, but as he assists with trying to drive out, his tyres are only digging himself deeper into the earth. With a little more digging, we reset and go for what will hopefully be our last attempt.
I think we're happy to go.
Alrighty, start going in. Drive a little bit.
It's coming up.
That's it, a good pace. Little bit of drive. And go right hand down, Luke. Go, yeah, now go straight. Can he drive from there, Clayton? Can we just unhitch?
Yep, I think we're good.
Job well done, we got there.
After some coordinated winch pulling, a fair bit of shovel work, and probably more luck than skill, we got them out. 2 vehicles on the straps, but the whole crew on the ground. Digging, guiding, making sure it went right. Chassis cleared, wheels on solid ground, handshakes exchanged. Pulling off an actual recovery felt like a proper milestone. They headed back towards safety, we headed to camp. We were close now, so close to Birdsville we could almost taste it. But first, we had our own challenge waiting. Big Red.
We're only now 366 kilometres into our trek on the Simpson Desert, and I'm only now just filling up, so I'm pretty happy about that. Main tank gets about 500 Ks and this track is only about 500 kilometres as well. So I was pretty optimistic going into it. I had heard a lot about people having some issues kind of with the patrols, just at least on the standard tanks going on it, but I think we've all done pretty well.
I've been really happy with the Ford Ranger. It's the only preparation apart from it being straight out of the factory is I chucked a second-hand set of tyres on it for the trip. Tried to keep the weight down as much as we could, and it really has excelled. It hasn't bottomed out. It's literally got over everything without a snatch strap, and yeah, it's been a really, really good trip so far.
Morning, everyone.
Good morning, y'all.
It is our last day in the Simpson.
We are pretty stoked about that. We're looking forward to a nice shower, even though I did have camp showers and no one else did. It's been an interesting trip, but it's been a good trip, no complaints.
No, it's been good. We saw some camels along the way. We saw some dingoes at the very start.
Mitch picked up a snake.
Yep, Mitch picked up a snake. So yeah, pretty good.
Big Red was within reach, although the desert had one more test.
Well, we've just come up to Eyre Creek and just had a quick look down there, and honestly, if you want to get your car bogged, that's the place to take it. I really think we'd want to have somebody on the other side first if we were going to try and attempt this, because
We're not going to attempt this.
you can already see whether a couple of cars have tried going through and got bogged. Personally, I'll give it a miss.
A quick chat with Ross, and just like that, we convinced ourselves it was doable. Sometimes optimism outweighs common sense.
All right, so here's what I'm thinking. I actually don't think that's too bad. So what I'm proposing is that I go down, kind of test the waters, and have Ross kind of attach his winch in free spool to the back of my tow hitch on the back, and then I go through, and then if I get stuck, he just engages his winch and then pulls me out. I don't want to spend, 50 odd minutes or so just going on the bypass to go around. So I'm optimistic we can get through, but we can only try.
Well, we're about to attempt getting Mitch across Eyre Creek. Let's see how it goes.
All right, so got my seatbelt off just in case we need to jump ship. I don't know if Karen knows that, but...
What? Now he tells me.
Anyway, so we're just going to creep in and then I'll see how the dirt's feeling, then I'll have a go from there.
Ready to go when you are.
All right, I'm going to start moving forward. Yeah, that's all fine.
And like that, he's across. Now he's got to get out in the mud and retrieve my winch line.
We'll just hold this. We'll hold this as you come across if you want.
Of course, I wanted to make this shortcut worthwhile. I'd come all this way and got my feet wet. I figured I might as well make it count. So I went back for the more enticing exit.
All right, now here we go.
Come on, you can do it, Cal. Come on, pull.
Hold on, Cal was just going to tell you to winch in so we can get rid of the excess. That was a little underwhelming, wasn't it?
And just like that, we're out. Got to have faith in your car.
Big Red, the Simpsons' tallest dune at 40 metres, and the one everyone talks about. Steep, soft sand that humbled countless four-wheel drivers. We'd come this far, now we'd see if our rigs and our skills were up to it, and Ross was going up first.
Good job, Ross. Big dog. What do you reckon, Ross? We'll be able to get up there with the trailer? If you had enough speed, you'd make it.
Ross made it look easy, but Big Red doesn't give the same line twice, and what works for one rig doesn't guarantee success for the next. Second attempt, this time more commitment, more speed.
Let's do it.
Remember, 80 Ks. Hit the days.
All right, 74 Ks by the time we hit the bottom.
Alright, let's do it. Doing Big Red.
Walk to the mark. Rangers, 3 from 3.
Easy. Easy, Sandy. Oh.
That turn, just to the top.
Sandy, do you want a tow from a Ranger?
I thought he had it.
The reverse of shame.
It's just where it's going.
Second time round, and it looks like Sandy knew what he had to do differently.
Well done, well done.
Just all in, mate, all in.
All in or nothing. Okay. Come on, put your foot down. And we're off and racing. Are we going to do it? Go, BJs. And we're going. We're flying. And we're off and running. We did it. I have no idea what this one's going to look like.
Well, we made it the first time. Yes.
Yeah, dude. How good was that? How awesome. All right. And I want to do it again, but Craig doesn't want to.
No, one time's enough.
All right, well, here we go. We're going to get a bit of speed here, and we're going to take lane 3, I guess. Back 3. Need a lot of speed, so let's see how we go.
That gauze filter I struggled to clean days ago, it's come back to haunt me on the final challenge.
I don't think I'm ever going to get the speed. I feel like it's lagging again in the RPM.
What gear did you go up to?
Gear 3.
Colson, he gets it in second gear.
But if I'm having the revs issue, then I need to go up in a gear so I can go faster.
There's that gauze filter coming back to haunt me, right when I need full power for the last climb. Turns out I should have just pulled the damn thing out and cleaned it properly.
and everybody else is standing on top of Big Red waiting for us, and it is stinking hot. It is 36 degrees. Frank's just getting back in the car now, and then we are going to attempt to get up line 3, I think.
We finally made it to Big Red and conquered it, which also marks the end of the Simpson Desert. So that's the Simpson Desert, and Birdsville's off that way. So I reckon we're gonna be due for a drink soon, so we'll see you around there. Craig, I know you're at the back there. I've noticed actually on the side of the track there's a couple of motorcycle tracks that are kind of popping up every so often. How does it feel coming from the adventure bikes coming into the full drive scene now?
I bought this car for the desert trip and it hasn't let me down. It's taken me about 8 months to get it ready. It's all worked pretty flawlessly. I'm very happy with it. All my travelling I've done all over Australia has been on a motorbike. So this is the first time I've actually done any travelling in a car in a four-wheel drive. Now, of course, the camping is so much better. The riding of a motorbike is so much better. Thoroughly enjoyed the trip. Car's been great, and yeah, I can't wait for the next one.
That's awesome. I'm glad to hear it. Yes, I think we're all very keen to be moving on to the next trip. So fingers crossed it won't be too far away. Well, we made it. We're at Birdsville Hotel. Now from here we're gonna start making our way back to Sydney, but we enjoyed the trip, we had fun, we had learned a lot of things, and I think, yeah, we'll be planning our next trip soon. So, cheers guys. 1,000 dunes, countless mechanical issues, and many days of learning the hard way. Somehow we'd actually done it. We made it to Birdsville.